Gupta on behalf of Patwari Academy. Now we'll continue with the topic 3, okay, of the trade finance, that is regarding settlement of. So we'll start with the topic settlement of international trade. Okay, topic number 3 as a part of Patwari Academy initiative. So what we have learned, the need and importance of doing the international trade. Then second, we try to understand the various regulatory authorities into the business. Now look at this here. So when we have gone through the various agencies, we observe that the banks plays a very important role. So the settlement of international trade takes place through the banking mechanism. And if you are okay, so what is happening here in the matter of settlement? That now suppose there are two parties, right? Okay, so they make an agreement to sell the goods. Let's take there is a seller here in India and there is a buyer is in Dubai. Now, so what is happening? As I told you, the main important regulatory authorities are the FEMA in terms of settlement of trade. FEMA of Reserve Bank of India, okay, FEMA 99 of RBI Act, RBI. So let's take there is a seller in India and there is a buyer in Dubai. So and as per the FEMA, you can draw your invoices. You can get your payment in any convertible currency, any foreign currency, including convertible INR. Okay, so basically there are 4 accounts which are very important. That is Nostro account, Vostro account, ACU account, and as well as the new account which has been permitted by Reserve Bank of India. That there is a new special Vostro account in INR, and that is meant for trade with Russia. So let's take the Nostro. So how this money comes, as you know, 85% of the international trade is settled in American dollar. So what happens? Let's take that the exporter in India, let's say XYZ exports, and he makes an arrangement with the buyer in Dubai, and they agree to sell the goods, right? And as per the payment terms, seller expect 50% advance. Okay, no issues, and the contract is for say $100,000. So if the buyer is agreeing for paying 50% advance, he will instruct his bank in Dubai. Let's take Emirates Commercial Bank to pay $50,000 to XYZ exports in India. Let's take that XYZ export has an account with HDFC Bank because they have to give this information to the buyer that where the account is maintained, HDFC Bank, and where HDFC is maintaining a dollar account. Let's take that JP Morgan in US. So what will happen? The buyer will approach his bank in Dubai. Let's take Emirates Commercial Bank and ask them to pay $50,000 as a 50% advance, okay, to XYZ export with their account with HDFC Bank. So how they are going to pay? Emirates Commercial Bank will send a swift message to a bank where they have a dollar current account. That is, let's take Citibank New York. And in the books of Emirates Commercial Bank, this will be known as a Nostro account. Nostro is our account with them in their country, in their currency. So let's take they have maintained account with Citibank, New York in dollar, current account. Now, after receiving this instruction, right, Citibank will pay $50,000 to JP Morgan, where HDFC Bank has a dollar current account. Now, what is going to happen? Now, once they get the $50,000 through RTGS, local remittance, because money never goes out of US. Just keep this point in mind now. So then what will happen? They will send this intimation of having received $50,000 for XYZ exports. Then HDFC Bank will approach XYZ export that, okay, see, look, we have got the $50,000. What you want me to do? Okay. Now, please, before the instruction you get from exporter, the account maintained by HDFC Bank with JP Morgan in the books of HDFC Bank is called Nostro account. Same like Emirates Commercial Bank Nostro account with Citi New York, HDFC Bank dollar Nostro account with JP Morgan and New York. Now, they have 2 options. Exporter has 2 options. One, either to convert into rupees immediately at the spot, GT buying rate. So you can get it from CCL website, TT buying rate, okay, or convert, keep this money into EEFC account, exchange earners foreign currency account, and that can be kept till the next month ending, that is till 31st of October. in current account. And that can be used in between for remittances, for travel, for immigration, for education, training, business expenses. There is no questions asked. Okay, for import of goods, whatever it is. Now, so this is called a nostro. Let's presume that instead of dollar, this transaction is in rupees. Then what happens? Suppose JP Morgan has a INR account with HDFC Bank. Okay, so that in HDFC Bank, it will be known as Vostro. Now then JP Morgan can say, okay, debit my account and pay to XYZ export. So how do they get the rupees? They have to sell the dollars and buy the rupees. That's why it is called convertible account. Now this is to understand the nostro, and vostro means our account with them in their country, in their currency. Vostro means their account with us in our country, in our currency. Now this is the way the settlement takes place, all for our international trade, export and import. But there is an exception. Two things. One, now suppose if you are dealing with ACU countries, that is called Asian Clearing Union. So initially it started with about 6 countries in 80s. Now 8 countries are involved. Like what are those countries? Like India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, Iran, Nepal. 8 countries. What they say, what RBI says, if you are, when the trade started, ACU started, the idea was to avoid depending upon dollar and make the settlement in local currency for each export and import. So this used to happen, and the fortnightly settlement used to take place at Bank Milli Iran, Tehran. Okay, so they used to make the settlement for all the 6 countries' banks, central banks, on a fortnightly basis. But it so happened that when Ayatollah came into picture, right, and the Islamicization has happened in Iran, then what to do? This settlement started taking longer time, more than 2 weeks, and it went on 3 months, 6 months, and the traders got frustrated, and this arrangement was stopped. And they converted that they allowed these, participants to settle outside local arrangement. They can pay in dollars. Same through the nostro vostro, but it would be known as ACU dollar. You have to just write the word ACU. What is the idea? Because so that central banks can manage that what kind of business is happening between the ACU countries. That's it. It went on well, but what happened then? Due to nuclear issues, the US put a sanction against Iran, and they stopped using the dollar currency. Then what to do? Then they started ACU euro. Then euro also got into sanctions. Then again they put it ACU Japanese yen. See, today what is happening? Iran has an issue. In India, the settlement is happening through UCO Bank in INR. So what is happening? The UCO Bank has, they are getting the money out of their exports, their export of oil, and then whatever goods they are buying in terms of like medicines, food grains, etc. This is a sort of barter arrangement, but the money is lying, surplus is lying in their current account with UCO Bank, and this has been duly approved by the US. The fourth, which RBI has introduced recently, is that is called special INR Vostro account with, for the trade with Russia. So, what is happening? The America and other allies has put a sanction against Russia and its companies. So how to import oil at a cheaper price and at the same time maintain our relationship with the US, with Russia. So what has happened? RBI has come out on 11th July with a new circular which says that any Indian bank, AD bank, can open a Vostro account, right? Vostro account with the Russian bank. So what is to be procedure to be done? The Russian bank has to approach the Indian bank, right? And then Indian bank will approach RBI for their permission, and then they will open a INR Vostro account. That's it. So it could have been easier. That's Sberbank, SBER, Sberbank of Russia has a branch in Delhi. They could have easily opened this account, but they are reluctant. Because they lack transparency, plus their communication issues. So what is happening? They are permitted AD bank. So what is the difference between this and the UCO bank? See, UCO bank only one account, one bank, but here all 94 AD banks can open this account. Imagine. So that's the advantage. Plus what they say, once RBI approves, this money can be used like this. You can look at this if you understand. A Russian company exports the oil to Indian oil company like Indian Oil or ONGC, whatever it is. And then Indian oil company, they pay to this Vostro account of Russian bank with AD bank in India in Indian rupees through RTGS. Then what happens here after that? Then once they get it, they inform them, the money lies with them. And the Russian bank has an option to invest this money into government securities, treasury bills, CD, CP, anything which is permitted under FEMA 99. Then an Indian exporter who exports the goods to Russian, right? Then Russian exporter, Russian buyer, he can, so he has to pay to the Indian exporter. Then he instructs the Russian bank, and Russian bank in turn instruct the AD bank to debit their current account and pay to Indian exporter. That's fantastic. And the surplus can be invested into GSEC, etc., earning more than 7%. So even if rupee depreciate, they don't lose anything to that extent. So that's a basic difference between the Iran and the Russia. Second thing, if this is successful, then this arrangement can be extended to other countries. Those are under sanction like Iraq, Venezuela, and so many countries are there, Myanmar and all. Third point, right? So the Iran thing, he doesn't have option to invest, whereas the Russian thing, he has an option to invest. So the only issue is like some of the issues which are lacking clarification is like issue of EDPMS, IDPMS, shipping bill of entry, and advance payment can be made. So many, everything is allowed, but then there are issues. The MNCs, they have refused to go with this arrangement. Why? Because they feel we have global arrangement, and if the US comes to know, and then all over world will have problem with the trading with the US. Other banks in India are also reluctant to open this account. Why? Because they think that if US come to know and then they freeze their assets in US like Nostro accounts and other investments, then they are in problem. So they are not also interested to do this. So for that, Reserve Bank of India, Indian Bank Association, FEDI, they're all working together to make this arrangement successful and workable. Okay, so that is what's going on. So I tell you, the settlement of trade, for trade with India, either export or import, can be done through 4 ways: Nostro account, Vostro account, ECU account, and the next is through the special Vostro account for the trade with Russia. That is what is going to happen very soon. Okay. So thank you very much for listening to this. Thank you.